Breaking news overnight, a drive-by shooting leaves an Arlington teen wounded. The Connection investigators say the shooter headed to the victim.
Happening today, the future of a historic Dallas neighborhood is up in the air. How a meeting today could solidify the future of Fair Park.
And the secret is out, the best little taqueria joint that you never knew about. Today is Thursday, August 4th, 2016.
This is CBS 11 News at 4:30, the ones for Texas.
Hurricane Earl swept past the coast of Honduras and hit Mexico's Yucatan Peninsula. The U.S. National Hurricane Center in Miami is saying that Earl is bringing some heavy rains, flooding, and high winds to Belize and Mexico, with top sustained winds of around 75 miles per hour. Good morning. Thanks for waking up with us. I'm Russ McCaskey.
And I'm Karen Borda. It's just about 4:31 now. Time for a check of our weather and traffic on the ones.
So we want to turn things over to meteorologist Jeff Jameson, who has the hour-by-hour forecast, and it's another muggy start.
This is Groundhog Day. This is our groundhog season, right? It's going to be the same as yesterday. No big changes. Still hot. Temperature starting off this morning in the 80s. Take a look outside, North Dallas. Looking back down toward downtown. Beautiful skyline on a relatively nice morning compared to where we're going to end up later on this afternoon. 86 in Dallas. In Fort Worth right now it's 83. Sunrise at 6:44 this morning, and once that sun rises, it's going to be with us in full force again today. Here is your forecast this morning. We may make it down to 80. 95 by lunchtime, and the high temperature today 101. That's where we were yesterday with south winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. But we do have some subtle changes in the 7-day forecast for next week. We'll talk about that coming up in a few. Right now, let's check in with Chelsea Davis, who has your Thursday morning traffic check. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Jeff. We look okay for the most part on the major freeways and interstates, but surface street level, we do have a bad crash here. We're sending Mobile 11 to Bonnie View and Stagg Road. Now, this is just south of Loop 12 there, and it's near I-45 and also Lancaster Road. So I'm going to keep watching this for you and let you know what exact closures we have. We don't know that information for sure at this moment, but we'll bring that to you once we know. 35 east southbound at Northwest Highway, we are looking at delays, construction related. Same story with 75 just north of Richardson and 635. Give yourself extra time in those two trouble spots. I'll let you know how Tarrant County is looking coming up. Karen?
All right, thanks, Chelsea. Breaking news overnight from Arlington.
CBS 11's Jason Allen's at the Live Eye desk with the latest. Jason.
So this is in kind of the central part of Arlington. Let's go ahead and take you there and show you where it was, just south of I-30. It was in the overnight hours, and there was a shooting there that police were called out to. There's a duplex, some apartments right here off of Fielder. When they got there to the scene, police said what they found was a teenager who was outside and had been shot in the head. Now, they do have a suspect in this case, and police are telling us at this hour that the suspect and the victim likely knew each other in this incident. The teenager was taken to Arlington Medical Center. Not clear right now what his condition is, but police this morning are still investigating. Russ.
Jason, thanks. What's next for Fair Park? The future could be decided today. CBS 11's Vanessa Brown joins us live from the Dallas Landmark with what's happening this morning.
Well, good morning, Russ. We are actually live here at City Hall, and we are hoping to get some clarity this morning as board members will meet again to decide the future. But you may remember the drama from exactly 2 weeks ago when an important vote fell apart at the seams. At stake this morning, a decision that will shape the 277-acre park's renovation over the next decade. Park members will meet at 8:30 to focus exclusively on that. They'll talk about the proposed Fair Park Texas Foundation management agreement that would put the park in the hands of a private nonprofit group. That's what caused the controversy last time when 5 members walked out of the meeting saying they didn't know enough about the plans. Marlon Rollins was one of them. He spoke with us that day.
I don't think that a majority of the board is not against the process and structure. It's about the structure, operational, and the transparency of who and how it's ran.
Again, that meeting is set for 8:30 this morning here at City Hall. We will be in there, and we will bring you full coverage throughout the day. Live at City Hall, Vanessa Brown, CBS 11 News.
Thanks, Vanessa. So do you think you could tell the difference between a gun that shoots pellets and one that shoots bullets? In the dark, they can be nearly impossible to distinguish. As CBS 11's J.D. Miles reports, that's the reason Arlington police are calling for change.
Even veteran Cedar Hill police officer Colin Chenault couldn't tell the difference.
Well, it's very difficult from even this distance.
Chenault says his department continues to confiscate airsoft guns from young adults and teenagers who point them at officers and put their lives at risk. Most recently outside this Home Depot in Cedar Hill.
The consequence could be that they end up seriously injured or dead.
A man walking up to an Arlington police patrol car recently carrying a pellet gun was nearly shot.
You can really go to any kind of sporting goods store, buy these things for $20 to $30, $40, and you got a real looking gun.
Arlington police want state lawmakers to put restrictions on sales to children and change the look of pellet guns before someone gets hurt.
You know, at the first of the year, we saw an increase in robberies, and specifically with robberies involving what we call replica guns or airsoft or pellet guns.
While some pellet guns have orange tips, most we found inside this Dallas sporting goods store do not.
There's no reason you shouldn't be able to put a pellet gun that's all bright orange or all bright reds.
Dallas attorney Robert Rogers tells us pellet guns can be legally regulated. State Rep Chris Turner of Arlington tells us if law enforcement officials believe this is an issue that can and should be addressed by the legislature, I will be glad to work with them to craft legislation.
And that was J.D. Miles reporting. Now, if you rob someone with a pellet gun, you would face 2 to 20 years in jail, in prison, but it's 5 to life with a real gun. The officers we spoke with believe making those punishments equal would encourage people to be more responsible.
A young boy is recovering this morning after suffering a dog bite while playing outside of his home near Fair Park. He was rushed to the hospital. Neighbors say that he was repeatedly bitten on the legs. And Dallas Animal Services says that it has the dog responsible in custody and has issued a citation to the dog's owner. Neighbors say that they're frustrated by the loose dogs in their community.
It's terrible. It's just bad because too many kids walk up and down here, little kids, and I'd be scared for them.
Animal Control says it will be back out to follow up on other loose dogs reported in that area.
A Fort Worth teacher is expected in court today, accused of having sex with a teen and even taking him out of state. Alina Long faces charges of improper relationship with a student and sexual assault. Police began investigating after the teen's father saw inappropriate messages between his son and the teacher.
City of Fort Worth is working to let homeowners know what they need to do to protect themselves from lead contamination. This comes after Fort Worth ISD replaced hundreds of drinking fountains after finding lead in the water. The water department is only responsible for the main pipes, not the lines that lead to your home. Most homes in North Texas were built within the last 25 years, meaning that those lines should be lead-free. Old homes can ask for a state plumbing inspector to examine their pipes for lead joints.
We've never really looked at what's on the private side of the system. I mean, we focus on what we're responsible for.
And a tip for any faucet that hasn't been used for a few hours, run that water for about 30 seconds to wash away any stagnant water. And most cities will give you a test kit to collect a sample, and they'll test the water for you.
Downtown Fort Worth could soon double in size thanks to new zoning approvals. Those approvals are the latest step forward for the Panther Island District project. It's going to reroute the Trinity River and create a 700-acre addition just north of downtown. A large chunk of the district will be residential units, and the area will feature 12 miles of developable waterfront. The project's executive director says the district will borrow ideas from cities across Texas and bring them all together.
You actually take one of the most livable downtowns in the entire nation, then add to that the very best of San Antonio, take their Riverwalk, then add Austin's Town Lake feature with a boardwalk around it.
The new development's expected to draw 25,000 new people to the district.
It looks like it's just going to be fantastic, doesn't it? All right, it's time to stuff the bus. Northwest ISD school buses will be parked and packed at Galderma Labs on North Freeway in Fort Worth. The Stuff the Bus event begins in just a few hours at 9 a.m. Officials say more than 1,200 backpacks will be stuffed with school supplies, all thanks to today's efforts. Well, when you find a great restaurant, sometimes you kind of want to keep it a secret, but for fans of one Dallas restaurant, it's probably a little too late for that.
Maybe a little bit. A tiny taqueria just landed on a well-respected list as one of the 50 best in the country. Gilma Avalos got the best assignment for this one, joining a lunch crowd for a taste.
If you didn't know what to look for, you'd probably miss it.
I drive through here every day and I had no idea that it was here.
Next door to a tire shop, inside a nondescript bright orange building, is a little secret regulars don't want to share.
I would encourage everybody not to come because we really like coming here on a regular basis.
But Chris Gibson's secret is out, thanks to a nod from Bon Appetit magazine that called Trumpo one of the 50 best new restaurants in the country.
Just 6 items on the menu, and every one of them is fantastic.
Are we eating for here to go today?
The family-run business opened back in April. Owner Luis Olvera serves up Monterey-style street tacos to willing patrons.
Thank you.
Its namesake, the Trumpo taco, a pork taco seasoned with paprika.
You have to get here early or else you'll stand in line.
Its newfound buzz means a lot of new customers. Even before the lunch hour, a line had started to form. By noon, the tiny place was packed. Last night, they were completely sold out.
We ran out of everything. We had a record day yesterday.
And that's why Melissa de Avila has been here twice in a span of 12 hours.
You know, we tried the pork and it was outstanding and delicious, and we had to come back and try the beef.
We had to try it for ourselves. The verdict?
And they're worth it.
Alvera says the shout out from the magazine is nice, but it's the street cred that he's focusing on.
Do I want to eat it every day? And I eat 10 tacos every day. I mean, you can tell, you know. So that's one of the biggest things, is the person I'm trying to please is the person that comes into the door.
In Dallas, Gilma Avalos, CBS 11 News.
Oh, that looks so good.
It does. I could go for some now.
It's 4:30 in the morning and it looks so good. Trumpo got so much business yesterday. Get this, it had to close for a few hours because it had to get ready for the dinner crowd, and I guess it usually doesn't have to do that.
Yeah, and sold out the night before that. Well, the restaurant is one of 50 in the country and the only one in North Texas vying for the magazine's coveted Hot 10 list.
So we'll see if it vaults up there
We'll
to
see.
top 10.
All
Boy,
right.
that's great. Good
Yeah,
for them.
we need to taste that. All right, we have traffic on the ones. We're going to start with CBS 11 meteorologist Jeff Jamison.
All right, good morning, guys. It is 4:41, and we are looking at the heat advisory extended. This is new overnight, just issued by the National Weather Service for the counties east of the Dallas-Fort Worth area. It's in effect right now. It goes through tomorrow evening, and these counties shaded in orange, 105 to 108, the heat index. That's dangerous levels of heat. We'll talk about how long this lasts coming up in a few. Here's Chelsea.
All right, good morning, Jeff, and good morning, everyone at home. We are still looking at a situation here, Bonnie View and Stagg Road. Not sure the extreme level. There was a car that ran into a light pole out there, so we're going to look at this in Dallas. But other than that, the rest of your commute's pretty quiet. We're going to talk about Tarrant County coming up.
All right, Chelsea, thanks. Coming up, fallout from revelations that the United States paid Iran $400 million.
Why some say that amounts to ransom next. And a police officer accused of doing something that many just can't fathom. What he is accused of doing that has other law enforcement outraged.
And a prayer answered. Why it took so long for a man to get his name cleared of rape charges, and his message for others in the same situation.